finished the tank tier list, and what we're gonna do next is, it's DPS time. So we're gonna take all the DPSs, put them here, and then start talking about them. I I almost put Mantis in. I almost put Mantis there. Yeah, the biggest role we're like gonna see a lot of thing here though. Like we're probably gonna see a lot. We're gonna see a lot more in the other roles, the other like tiers for these guys. So I am going to start off with Black Panther. I think it's a decent pick. I think Black Panther's a decent pick, right? If you know what you're doing, if you're nice, he's not an easy character to play, but if the tickle monster is tickling y'all in the back line, at some point somebody's going to die, especially if the tank is helping helping you doing damage in the back line. You know, Strange could Strange could definitely go behind the enemy tank, do a little bit of damage to like the supports and DPSs back there, and then Black Panther finishes them off. Like Black Panther is definitely dependent on being enabled by supports, and he could do it himself. He could do it himself when he has his ultimate, though. He can't do it himself without the ultimate. I would say, like they would have to be already really low. So I'm gonna put him at decent pick. Um, I low key think Widow belongs in. They hate to see me win, and the reason is if your aim is on point, you basically two shot, not even two shot. You three shot everything, but the synergy with damage boosts that you could give to a Black Widow makes her three shots, two shots, which are really good, right? And that's a good. And her ultimate is so much better now after the buff. Like being making them vulnerable allows her to actually then two shot without damage boosts, which is good, and it slows them down tremendously, so it makes her shots easier. And if you do it in like a huge area, you are making sure your allies are now doing even more damage, which allows your team to clean up kills so much easier. So I think Widow is just like really underrated and good. So he goes, and they hate to see me win. Um. Oh, okay, it is going. I thought it wasn't going for a moment. Next is Hawkeye. I'm gonna put Hawkeye in decent pick because that team up with Black Widow is makes her ultimate like super lethal. By the way, she can definitely kill like three or like two to three with her ultimate thanks to Hawkeye. And I did like the Hawkeye buffs, so they were really good. I will say his ultimate is tad bit better now with that buff. So it was really good, really good, really good. Wait, I will be right back. All right. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. So where were we? Oh, we were on Hawkeye. So yeah, I just like Hawkeye's buffs. I actually like his ultimate is a tad bit better now. It was like dang near the worst ultimate in the game. So there's not much to say about Hawkeye. He goes in decent pick. Hello, bro. I'm putting her. She is the first Holy Smokes DPS. I swear to. Why is Hella so dang good? Right. So she can just naturally two tap. She has a great escape tool. She can pull in tank. Her her that dagger thing that she has could actually be really nice comboing with that little pull in because you could pull them in and it'll explode and then they take a tons of damage and then she just hits them once. To be honest, and she can hit them during it too, so they'll probably just explode, right? A lot of the time, which is really cool that she can do that. She's a really good poker. You give her damage, you give her damage buff, she's disgusting. And we're gonna get to the main person that I'm talking about that are damage buffing the like Widow and Hella. We already know she's gonna be putting Holy Smokes. So we have um Iron Fist. I'm gonna put Iron Fist, and they hate to see me. No, I put him in decent pick. I'm gonna put him in decent pick solely because his his damage isn't very good against squishies anymore, right? So, but his damage against tanks is tremendously high. So I don't even know how people play him anymore. Because I know it's slightly changing in the Iron Fist I've seen. They've still tried to be like flankers, but I don't. In my opinion, I don't think that's how it works anymore. I just think he should he should be like brawling upline with the tank, helping, and while the tank tries to go to their like behind their backline, you protect their supports from their tank doing the same thing, right? And then their tank has to retreat because they're taking so much damage from the Iron Fist. Especially after like you block into the Sun Punch, he had like the tank has to retreat, or they kind of like they tend to take a lot of damage, more damage than they can be healed to. So yeah, and Hawkeye, I mean not Hawkeye, Iron Fist has a nice escape to with his kick. His his harmonic recovery is so good now. Like it was good before, but it's so much nicer. Like he becomes so tanky. He actually is a DPS that's really hard to kill sometimes, especially due to the amount of health he can have as a DPS. So in a 1v1 scenario, I honestly think Hawkeye is the one of the best solo like duelists. Like he could 1v1 other duelists and tanks for all that matters and actually win. I now that I'm saying that, I think I want to put him in They Hate to See Me Win. I think I do want to put him in They Hate to See Me Win off of that. Yeah, you're putting him in Hate to See Me Win. We're gonna get to you know what? We're gonna get to the kits and caboodles. I'm putting Iron Man in You're Selling, right? Eh, okay, let me not put hate bias in there. I'm putting him in decent pick because he does kind of want the gamma team up, but Hulk gets banned a lot of the time. So they decided to buff his Unibeam, and that was a pretty nice buff. But I still don't think Iron Man does enough, especially because we had we have Black Widow and Hela being so good, and weirdly enough, Iron Fist. He's a flyer, so he goes up there and deals with them. And even Hawkeye. Hawkeye is another like good one. So yeah, honestly, if I had to like rank decent picks so far, I'd actually put Hawkeye above Black Panther. Yeah. Um, Magic also goes in decent pick. Magic is a nice solo queuing DPS, but one Penny, one Namor, and one Wanda can completely change how good a Magic plays, and that's really bad, especially with Penny actually being a decent pick. The only reason she's a decent pick is because she's kind of hampering Magic from being in They Hate to See Me Win, right? And that is kind of like unfortunate. And I don't even know what they could do to her. Honestly, maybe they should buff her HP the same way they buffed the Iron Fists. Maybe they should give her 300 too. I, mm, I don't know. Maybe I'm coping. Maybe I'm coping. But yeah, Dark Child is a really nice ultimate. I think it does force a lot of support ults, and in Dark Child you can one shot supports in their support ults, which is really good. But that takes a lot of skill and a lot of like practice to do. So yeah, Magic belongs in decent pick. Moon Knight, I'm putting him in decent pick. If he gets pressured, he can't do anything. Um, Moon Knight did get a nice buff with his team up, but that didn't really do much. Yeah, you just pressure him. He does. The only thing I'll give him is that he gets his ultimate like stupid fast. Like in a game, you'd see the moon haunts you about 20 times or so. Like I'm not even lying, like 20 times. It goes insane. Yeah, and I don't want to put him in. I don't want to put him in. They hate to see me win just because he gets his ultimate dumb fast. So, especially if you're pressuring him a lot to not get his ultimate, he's not gonna get his ultimate that often. Namor. I want to put Namor in Holy Smokes. Right? He is the best anti-dive. He's really good. He can dodge a lot of ult. He can he can confirm a lot of kills with his turret, and he does quite bit of damage. He does a lot of damage. And honestly, a good whale placement could go insane for like the team. That slight second everybody is stunned is the slight second it takes for you to just kill them. Right? So yeah, I think Namor, and we're also in like a heavy dive meta. Not even heavy. We're in a dive meta, and Namor gets banned because he's kind of the best against dive. It's him and Penny, but like I said, if if one person on the team functionally gets rid of the nest, then Penny does nothing. But Namor, it's you have to constantly be looking for those turrets, or your divers can just get can just die. Like Spider-Man's, Wanda's, Psylocke, they can just get cooked by the turrets and Namor. So I put him in Holy Smoke because he's really really good. Um, we got Psylocke. I'm put Psylocke and they hate to see me win. She's just really good all around. She can dive. She doesn't have to dive. She has pretty good range. Her spread is not bad at all, and she has great escape tools. Her ultimate is probably the weakest thing in her kit. I'm gonna be honest with you. Her ultimate is probably the worst thing that she has, but she makes it work. She makes it work. We're putting Punisher in. We're putting Punisher in Holy Smokes, right? Um, he does a lot of damage. His ultimate's really good. His turret form's really good. His only thing is his mobility, but like really, yeah. Now we're putting him in Hate to See Me Win. We're putting him in Hate to See Me Win. Wanda, you're selling. Um, she is really good against dive. She can dive, but her burst damage is not phenomenal. Um, you catch her once, she can pretty much be cooked immediately. The only thing I'll give her, yeah, the higher elo lobbies you go, she like the healing is so much better. Her ultimate is so actually, with her ultimate actually being more likely to get off, actually gonna put her in decent. I was gonna put her in selling, but I changed my mind completely. I changed my mind completely. Yeah, yeah. Squirrel Girl, I'm putting her hate to see me win. They hate to see me win. Squirrel Girl's one of those characters that just gets her all extremely fast too, the same way Moon Knight does. But she does so much more damage. She has a little stun that she can give to that she can put on the tanks, and then they just get like obliterated from there. Um, her ultimate is crazy. Her ultimate something you can't just like step out of like Moon Knight's. Hers is it will follow you, and it's that sometimes you can if you're in like a closed quarter, you're just dead. There's no saying there's no living that you're just cooked. Um, uh, she has a lot of splash damage. She can get high ground very quickly. She can refresh one of her cooldowns with her acorn. and she's just an overall good character. I'm putting Spider-Man in decent pick. His buff was really good, and we're in a dive meta, so he's really good. He's like the premier diver. I'll be honest with you. He's one of the premier divers. He also has a problem with Namor. His main problem is Namor. He would be one step higher if Namor wasn't in Holy Smokes for me. I'm putting Star Lord and They Hate to See Me Win because Star Lord can obliterate a lobby if he has like enough people. If he has like a comp that really is like helpful to him, especially if like the tanks, he can clean up easier than Black Panther can clean up. And then his ultimate is like something that deserves respect. His ultimate deserves respect, and you gotta pop a support ult, or a lot of the time in like these like open area team fights, he obliterates your supports, and then they all just win the fight from there. And that's all we have about. You already know we're putting Storm in S. He he creates an environment that makes Squirrel Girl do more damage, that makes Hella do more damage, makes Namor do more damage, that makes herself do more damage, and it makes um what's her fate? It makes it basically makes all the DPSs so much better than they are, especially if they're ones that like that, stay back and can poke. Cause she can poke. Then you got Black Widow sniping, and then you got Hella poking. You can have Moon Knight poking too, right? So and Squirrel Girl poking, Punisher poking, Star Lord some of the times he may not be in it all the time, but when he is in it, he does a lot. Hawkeye poking, Black Panther, nah. Iron Man, not either. And same thing with like a lot of the DPSs that are up here can benefit a lot from Storm buffing them, which is why I'm putting her up there. Bucky is also in Holy Smokes because that ultimate is crazy. He does a lot of damage. He he can two tap if not careful. Wolverine, they hate to see me win. They hate to see me. Yeah, they hate to see me win. He's a tank destroyer. Groot hates him because, to be honest, you know how Groot could displace. You know how Groot could like wall off other people, bro. Wolverine could just snatch him into the team, and then the team deals with him, and then he's no longer a problem. So like, that's the reason he gets banned a lot of often too. He kind of destroy. You know what? We're putting him in Holy Smokes. He's kind of crazy. Yeah, Wolverine's kind of crazy. The entire tank roster hates to deal with him. Besides the thing is the only counter to him being displaced, but it's still a tank, so he's still taking a lot of damage. Um, I want to put Mr. Fantastic in decent pick. He's he can he can adjust and be like a pseudo tank, but that's really as far as it goes for him. And then he 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 kind of wants Sue buff a lot of the time to really be annoying and crazy. So I'm putting him in decent pick. I actually don't have much on. All right, here's the only DPS I'm putting in your selling. I'm sorry. I think Human Torch is bad. I think he's terrible. He's too technical. No, you had to be stupid to stay in that field for too long, and he's just not. He's just not it. Honestly, he may need a buff. He, they might have made it to where those prisms don't stay up long enough, and like in team fights, if they would stayed up a little bit longer, they would have been so much better. But he's not really good. Like there's a different like people thought Johnny was the better character than the Thing, and in the most recent Invitational for Europe, it was the Thing was shown. The Thing was in it more than Johnny was, and the Human Torch is just not that good. He's the only character to go in your selling. So yeah, that's my DPS takes. I don't play DPS that much, so take everything I have up here with a grain of salt. I hope you like my video, my tier list. I hope you like and subscribe. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.